It is Bar Talk live from Dirty Birds in Ocean Beach. I'm Tim Piles.
And Kelvin Kent. We are here with Mark Christopher Lawrence.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome.
I'm stellar with you here, Mark Christopher Lawrence. It's amazing to see you here. You're an American character actor and comedian. I didn't realize you live here in San Diego. You've lived in San Diego a long time.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It's a town that people want to come to vacation, and we just happen to live here.
What brought you to San Diego originally? You grew up in Compton, actually.
I grew up in Compton. I was dodging bullets, so I came up.
Sure. Is that why you became a mime? I saw you studied mime.
Well,
can you do some mime for us here now?
No, I did a show with the San Francisco Mime Troupe, so they do Commedia dell'arte.
Okay.
So it's the style of, the Italian style of acting with the hierarchy of characters. And the show that I did was Ripped Van Winkle.
Was he ripped?
He went to sleep in 68, woke up in 88.
Oh.
And so it was a play on Rip Van Winkle. And, really, that following that they have, I remember being in rehearsals going, when are we moving into the theater? They said, during the summers, we do the shows in the park. And I was like, what have I gotten myself into?
Summer stock.
And we were in the park opening day, Dolores Park, 2,800 people in the park.
Oh, wow.
Closing weekend, Memorial Weekend, Golden Gate Park, as far as the eye could see, at least 4,000 people every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When did you realize you wanted to do all of this? Growing up in Compton, like you said, you're dodging bullets basically, and we're roughly the same age, so I can only imagine that there's these things going on. The Bloods and Crips are right in the middle of all this.
I'll tell you this: we moved to Compton in '69, so we were the second black family on our street.
Oh, wow.
So that, I think, was worse than when the Bloods and Crips moved in for me. And I didn't even realize that until recently. There's a show, I think it's on Netflix, called Them.
Yeah.
And as I watched that show, all these memories started flooding back. Our dog getting poisoned and all kinds of stuff. By 74, all the white families had moved out.
Sure. You saw that transition.
I would say
Crazy.
The Robinsons moved in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were,
damn
the
white
Robinsons
people,
literally
I swear.
were gangbangers. The 7 brothers, all of them gangbangers. And, the neighborhood changed, but like a frog in a pot of cool water, turn up the heat and you adapt. And so it didn't seem as bad as the media made it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, you became very creative. You have a long, illustrious movie, film, TV career. I was just looking at the list. You've been on some of my favorite TV shows. What was your first acting gig? What was the first opportunity you had that you took and you felt this is the path I'm taking?
Well, I went to USC on a debate scholarship, a speaking scholarship.
Wow.
My English teacher in 10th grade got me involved in speech and, ended up with a scholarship. And the first audition for TV was for Hill Street Blues.
Okay.
And got the job.
That's killer.
And then I didn't work for a year, in TV or film, but I was working in theater at the Los Angeles Theater Center. Next job was Caddyshack 2 a year later.
So once you kind of got bit by the bug, you were all in?
Yeah, I think I got bit in high school because Mrs. Schilling put me in a play.
Yeah.
Bus Stop, and it was fun to do. I won the Compton Literary Olympiad.
That's cool.
And that was the beginning of it. She was a huge influence in my life.
That's
even when I thought
important,
I was going to be a lawyer, I got to SC, took a voice class, and this instructor, Ron Manuel, talked me into auditioning for the Bachelor of Fine Arts acting program.
Like, you got a great voice, a face for radio.
Hey,
but a great voice.
Beautiful face for radio. That it's a face only a mother could love.
Exactly. I'm the same way. So I noticed one of the films you were on, you did The Island.
Oh yeah.
So I did a smattering of Michael Bay projects. What's your most notorious Michael Bay moment on set?
So they kept moving my start date, and it was literally just going to be one day, one scene. And the day that they decided, okay, we're going to bring you in, I was already working on Center of the Universe with John Goodman. So I said, well, you got to call my agent. I said, we got to figure it out. So I called my agent, and they said, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to bring you in at 6 a.m. We'll have him out by 10. He'll be at Universal for Center of the Universe in time for his noon call. And 10 o'clock, I'm still sitting in my dressing room.
Oh, wow.
So I called my agent. I said, you tell them that, when 11 o'clock rolls around, I'm getting in my car and driving to Universal. And so about 10:30, they bring me to set. They got 3 cameras set up, and we do 1 rehearsal, and then 3 takes, and I was out.
Wow.
And my favorite Michael Bay moment was as I come up the stairs on the scaffolding. I get up there, and he goes, if you wasn't so funny, I would have fired you. I hate your agent.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's classic Bayham.
Yeah.
I have none of that to share with you guys. Are you working on anything currently?
Well, you always have a lot of irons in the fire and hoping that something sparks. So we have some projects that we're working on, that we're trying to get going. I always say, like, if you're not in a movie by May, you're sitting around all summer. And it feels like I'm going to be sitting around all summer. But luckily, we have some projects that we're trying to get produced, and a couple projects that we're taking to streaming that are already shot. So,
okay.
Yeah.
You work with a local theater company you were mentioning too?
Yeah, I'm on the board of the North Coast Repertory Theater.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm also on the consulting board of Moxie Theater in Rolando.
Oh, very cool. I had no idea. That's right down the street from my house, actually.
Oh.
What do they do over at the Moxie? I've never seen any productions there.
Moxie has won every award that San Diego has to offer. In fact, they created one award because of Moxie Theater.
Really?
Yeah,
that's
so they do a lot of world premieres, a lot of West Coast premieres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's right
awesome.
at 54th and College Grove Drive, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I love that area. It's right by Choice Lake.
Yes.
It's a nice place to walk around. So, living here in San Diego, what are some of your favorite things to do? What do you get into on a weekend or just to relax in San Diego?
I always tell people, if you come to San Diego, one thing that you have to do is get on that amphibious bus, the Seal.
Okay, yeah.
And take that tour. It's a short tour, and then it goes into the water.
Yeah.
And, the guy is usually kind of funny, but it's a fun thing to do. That's my favorite thing to do.
Is that actually a military vehicle they use, something like that? Those things? You seen those things before?
I think
Transport
they were
vehicles?
Yeah, I think they were kind of refurbished from something that because I know they used to have those things in whenever I was in the teams 10 years ago. They had these. It was called the Beachmaster unit. They look like these giant bathtubs, and they're hilarious looking. But it's kind of the same thing as the Seal vehicle.
Yeah.
But yeah, they must be kind of refurbished because I don't know who would make that.
Just for that.
Just for that,
yeah.
They sure look fun. So that's your favorite thing to do, or something you would suggest for someone to do?
That's definitely something I would suggest for somebody to do. But one thing about being here, you can do the beach, you can do the desert, and you can do snow all in one day. Certain times a year.
Have you done that yourself?
No.
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 We had recently a bunch of snow actually in our local mountains.
I don't ski. I know that if I get on some skis, something's going to be broken.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Like, I'll take my family up to Big Bear. I'm like, I've had 8 knee surgeries. I'm good. I'll hang out over here by the bar.
Are those all military injuries on your knee, not sport injuries?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even want to know what some of the stuff this guy's done, to be honest.
Like dislocating your knee, like jumping out of airplanes and stuff.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Very, very non-conducive to having a good bone structure.
You ever had a stunt double for any of your acting gigs?
Terminator 2 was my first stunt double.
Yeah?
Nice.
Yeah. And it's funny because recently there was a post. Somebody posted, they thought that my stunt double was a white guy. And they said, just like Warner Brothers use a white guy for a stunt double. I said, well, first of all, it wasn't Warner Brothers. It was Terminator 2. I said, and Rusty was a black guy.
That's hilarious.
Damn trollers.
Yeah.
Trollers.
You got to find a reason to be upset about something.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They ruin everything.
So, like, what's your go-to, like, film genre? Like, what would you, if something dropped in your lap right now, they'd be like, hey, we want to make something to you. Like, what would you?
Ooh.
DJ Tone Deaf? Is that it, right? Is that the character?
I would love to do more Fear of a Black Hat related kind of stuff, just because it was so much fun to do. Rusty Cundiff, I think, is a brilliant writer-director. He wrote a lot of the Chappelle Show and directed a lot of it, and we worked on that project together, and he just sort of gave you a lot of freedom. He said, look, we got to say these words to move the story, but do what you do.
Yeah.
And to have that kind of trust, from a director and writer, it's like it's great. But the film genre that I would go to, like if it's something that I could do myself, I would go dark. acts because I'm known for funny, but
Sure.
I can
Jordan
act.
Peele?
I
Have you
can
ever worked
act.
with Jordan?
No, never worked with him, but I can act. I studied Shakespeare and the classics,
Yeah.
so I can act. So
Yeah.
like most comics, they can't
They're not-
act, or they're very good
They're not
comics. and not-
theatrically trained.
Exactly. And I'm trained.
You
There
are.
you go. Yeah.
I'm
You're
a thespian.
I'm a thespian.
Yes. Yes.
We weren't supposed to talk about that. We were supposed to
Easy,
keep that
easy.
out.
I said
Oh, you said
thespian.
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 What we can? Never mind. We're excited to have you here, man. What else? Do you perform comedy in town regularly?
Yes. I'm all over
Because
that.
the comedy scene's really blown up in San Diego, I think, in the last few years. As a kid, I grew up in La Jolla, and we just had the Comedy Store. I felt like
Well, the Improv was here too in the 70s.
Okay, but there's definitely a lot of places for comedy
Yeah,
downtown.
now you have
Kearny Mesa.
5 full-time comedy clubs here.
Yeah.
And
I like
then
that.
and then a lot of one-nighters. I do a quarterly show at Mic Drop. It's a clean show, so you can bring your young folk, not real young. I think they have to be at least 16 or so. But it's always a clean show. I love
they can drink.
working there. They what?
And then you let them drink and
Not the
at 16.
18-year-old.
That slows them down. That slows them down.
He's funnier then, Yeah.
Of course.
Man.
So what's your like? We already talked about favorite film genre stuff like that, but like Apple or Android?
Apple.
Okay, yeah, of course. That's what I
Sorry.
say when we get people that go, "Oh no, I got an Android." You got an Android, right?
I got an Android, but I got a Mac computer. What I hate is if I gave you my number and you were to text me and I happen to be on my Mac at home, it automatically goes to my Mac. It doesn't come to my phone because they
Interesting.
bypass it. Obviously, it's what he says, right? You should get an iPhone.
Because the Android was originally sold out of the trunk of Pookie's car. That's where they got
my
the plans for it.
Oh, well, I'm stuck with it for now anyway. But I'm glad you guys have that connection between each other. That's
yeah.
really special. Do you want to sit over here?
No, we're
Wanna move?
good.
Okay.
We actually have a deeper connection than you think. I got a bunch of retired SEAL friends and Navy Special Warfare.
Really?
Master Diver Mike Washington is one of my best friends.
Okay,
So yeah.
I know Mike. Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Me and Mike were on a 3-year winning streak in dominoes as partners.
Nice.
And we'd go, doot, doot, doot. He said, "What's that, Mark?" Conveyor belt of chumps.
That's funny. That's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely a small community. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously in San Diego, I mean, they say you're more apt to, worldwide, you're more apt to run into, a bunch of fake Navy SEALs because everybody, they say like, yeah, there were 115 Navy SEAls in Vietnam, and I've met all 700 of them. Because everybody's claiming this
Stolen valor.
right,
You guys
but
kick their asses. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be scared the
Yeah.
hell out of a bunch of SEAls trying to.
But that's why I
impersonate
tell
one.
people, like when you're in San Diego, be nice to everybody. You have no idea who you're talking to.
exactly.
I got a buddy who's a SEAL, and he's very unassuming looking.
Sure.
And he will break you down and toot sweet. Just
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah,
there ain't no
I-
such thing as a fair fight either.
right,
Right.
right.
I'm finding the heaviest shit that I can find, and I'm going to start swinging it.
Trying to go home.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay behind him and let him handle it. I always wanted my own bouncer. Of
course.
of
course.
Man, brutal. Yeah. No, not for me. I appreciate your service as well as my father's.
Absolutely.
I couldn't do it.
Thank you.
Did you ever serve?
No.
See,
Had
we're
I
too
served-
delicate.
Had I served, I would have been in like Grenada. That would have been my war. Nobody's proud of that.
like Gunny Highway. So what's your dream car? What do you drive now?
Jag SUV.
Okay.
So I think my dream car is probably Phantom or Anna
Rolls.
Rolls SUV. Yeah.
Do you have two Jaguars? Because they say to drive one, you have to have one so when one's in the shop.
Nah. Surprisingly, I've not had any problems.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've
That's
been
awesome.
really happy. Knock
That's
on
killer.
wood, because now that
Yeah,
we've said it,
don't ruin it. Yeah.
thanks a lot.
Knock on wood. You go
On
out
the way home,
You go out
we're
here
gonna
and the thing
be-
won't start.
Right, I'll be cursing you.
Because you put a potato in the tailpipe.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh man, well, what else you been up to besides supporting the arts and comedy? Obviously, still pursuing acting gigs. What else do you do here in San Diego to keep yourself busy?
Well, sometimes I go out to P2K range and shoot sporting clays.
Oh, okay,
there you go.
Where's the range?
Alpine, P2K.
Is it Alpine? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like we have another guy that could go out on a shooting date with.
Exactly.
Hey,
I'm trying
in.
to get him to take me out. All right.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I used to shoot with the guy who used to work me out. You know Rob Roy?
Yeah.
So Rob introduced me to this guy. We called him Pops, and he said, because I need to drop some weight. And he goes, Pops will take care of you.
Yeah.
And so me and Pops became friends. So I get invited to this sporting clays event, right? And I never shot it before.
Yeah.
So we go out to P2K, and we start shooting. I'm shooting clays with my tactical, and this guy comes up to me. He goes, let me see your gun. So I show it to him. He goes, yeah, point it at me. So I pointed at him. He goes, okay, so what you want to do is you want to bring your firearm to your sight, not your sight to your firearm. He says, and because you got a tactical, you got to hit it within 50 yards.
Yeah,
he says, you want to be shooting right away.
The spread's like...
Yeah, and so I got good at it. It's like when I finally get to the tournament, I shot over 60% using a different gun at every station.
Yeah.
So I buy one. I take a lesson with Dan Carlisle. A friend of mine is taking a lesson. He says, you should come take this lesson with Dan. And Dan tells him before the day is over, he says, yeah, Mark could probably be one of the best shooters in the world if he could shoot every day. He says his natural instincts are immediately.
Yeah.
He says, but the slow ones trip him up. I say, yeah, because it goes slow, and I go, there it is. I see it. I'm going to aim it. But the fast ones, it's like your hands just do what they do.
React.
Yeah.
But like when you play baseball, you don't look at the bat. You look at the ball, and your hands just go to where it's supposed to be.
Of course.
And the fast ones, my hands just do it automatically.
Yeah.
The slow ones, I'm all in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gun to your head, not head to the gun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Does this come from your days in Compton loving guns? Or?
No, in fact, I never touched a gun until I was here, and I got invited to that sporting place thing, and then I needed a bigger safe.
Well, there you go. And that's the crazy thing too, because like typically, in the industry, I train actors and stuntmen how to hold a gun and not look silly on camera.
Yeah.
And traditionally, when we will roll out the red carpet, and it's always the biggest, burliest leading man that has the hardest trouble because he's either shot a lot,
right,
or his ego is so big, his head is so big that
I can handle this.
Yeah, he won't listen to criticism, or he's got all these bad habits. Whereas typically, your number one female is like all ears, like I'll do anything you want me to do. Like I trained Jennifer Garner.
Wait a minute, are we still talking about shooting?
Yeah, exactly. I trained Jennifer Garner for a show called
America's
Peppermint.
Sweetheart?
Yeah, for Peppermint. And dude, she was rad.
Wow.
Like she was just I mean,
sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you were probably the same way. You didn't have any kind of
I'm competitive, man. I want to win.
Yeah. Of course.
And then my SEAL buddies, it's like they all want to help me win. Like I got invited to the Bianchi Cup.
Yeah.
And they brought me in as a celebrity speed shooter. So Ridgeway, you know Ridge?
Yeah.
So Ridge helped me get faster because I was fast, and he was like, you can be faster. And so it's like you start here, and I was doing this, and he goes, why are you putting that other hand down? I said, what do you mean? He says, when you do it, you go down, and he said, just meet it.
Yeah.
And it took like that much time off my shot. So
yeah.
Just little things.
Yeah.
He says don't try to be fast out of the holster. He says because you want to be able to see your target and then hit it. He says, I guarantee you, the guy that's like rushing out of the holster, you'll beat him every time if you just take your time.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah. And typically it's that, you're here and you're as fast as you can go to the holster.
Yeah.
You slow down that little bit. You actually get your hand a good grip on that pistol, and then you're out of the holster,
And then you punch it.
Yeah. But then typically the people that try and go 100% the whole way, screw it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of got hooked on it. It's it's so much fun to do. So.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, good hobby, especially considering where the film industry was last year.
Right.
I mean, dude, my savings were taking a pounding coming off some super stellar years where I'm like, back-to-back Jack Ryan, back-to-back, films where I'm like, okay, this is cool.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, we're on a strike. You're like,
and we're still on strike.
We're still on strike, yeah.
And we're still on strike.
Yeah.
Well, luckily for me, it's like toward the end of the year, like the strike was over, and I was already into 5 episodes of the thing, and then I did 5 episodes of Tyler Perry's show.
Oh, yeah.
And then went right from there to Sioux Falls and did a live thing, Christmas at the Cathedral. So, the end of the year was great after that long strike. I was like, oh, thank God.
What Tyler Perry show did you do?
All the Queen's Men. I'm a recurring character on there.
Nice.
I did 4 episodes first season, 5 episodes this 4th season.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How do you like him? That studio they built out there is insane.
That studio is amazing. I never met him because every time I was there, he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he came while I was shooting my first scene this last time around. He came in and watched the shoot and then left.
Yeah.
But I never got to see him because he was in a different room.
We were training some guys at his studio because it was one of the only places where we could actually shoot blanks. Because it's like it's
an old Army base.
It's an old National Guard base.
Yeah.
And he bought the entire thing. It's crazy.
But he got all of it but the hospital side.
Right. Yeah. He built some just crazy sound stages there. Mm-hmm. I got one of my good buddies that I was on Navy SEALs versus Zombies with. His name's Ed Quinn. He plays the president on the Oval.
Yeah.
A really, really good guy. He actually.
I think we have the same manager.
Oh, okay.
That guy. Yeah.
Yeah, great dude. Great dude.
You been in any zombie movies?
No.
Maybe in the
future. I want to be in a zombie movie. Yeah.
Anybody out there you'd really like to work with that you haven't had a chance to?
James Earl Jones.
Oh.
Because
Darth Vader?
I saw James in Fences when I was in the 10th or 11th grade at the Schubert Theater in Los Angeles.
Oh, cool.
And he was so riveting. It was like it just blew my mind how good he was.
Yeah.
And like there was people in there. Mary Alice is a beast of an actress. And years later, I didn't remember her. He was so good.
Wow.
Courtney Vance, what's her name? Angela Bassett's husband.
Yeah.
He played the son. He was a youngster then.
Yeah.
I remembered him because the two of them together was fire. But yeah, I'd love to work with James.
Yeah.
And anything you said, streaming stuff coming out soon? There's projects, any releases that we can see you in coming up, or anything?
If you like Christmas movies, I
love Christmas movies.
A fantastic Christmas movie called Bringing Back Christmas.
Okay.
And so that's already streaming. It's everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, cool. What's the platform? What's it on?
Everything. It's on Apple. It's on
awesome.
Netflix,
Hulu,
Amazon.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
All right.
Any comedy shows coming up?
May 15th, Mic Drop.
And where is the Mic Drop again?
Kearny Mesa on Claremont Mesa Boulevard.
That used to be a restaurant?
It used to be Comedy Palace.
Okay.
And what was it? It was like a Mediterranean restaurant.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to work with Rusty Nails?
Oh yeah. I love Rusty.
Rest
man.
in peace. We miss him. But,
yeah.
Wondered if you had a chance.
Rusty. I hired him a couple times to do shows for me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wait, did you go on tour then into the comedy?
I don't really tour. Like I'll bounce
local?
out and do a week here, a week there. Weekend here, weekend there. Like I'm going to Chicago. I'm going to Arkansas.
Okay.
To do a thing at a church, and Nashville.
That's awesome.
You're busy,
but just a little bit of time.
Yeah.
It's like I don't. When I was young, I used to open for a lot of people, and we'd be on the road for weeks at a time, and I hated it.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I guess we're taking a little break.
Yeah. Let's take a break. We'll be right back after this.
All right.
Falling hard like a tidal wave, kaleidoscope spiraling in outer space. Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Welcome back to Bar Talk Live. I'm Tim Piles.
And I am Kevin Kent.
Mark Christopher Lawrence is our guest on the episode today. Nice to have you here. Local resident.
Always good to be here, yeah.
Where are your favorite places to eat in San Diego? Do you have any spots that you love to check out?
Yeah, I love Arrivederci.
Okay.
And then Pomodoro, which is also a sister of Arrivederci. Yeah, those are my favorite spots.
Where are those restaurants?
So Arrivederci is on 4th and University.
Okay.
In Hillcrest.
Arrivederci. You gotta,
man, they do a pork ossobuco with mushroom risotto.
So suffice to say, your favorite style of food would be Mexican food.
Well, I like all kinds of food, like Island Spice, the Jamaican spot. I like, I do. There are some Mexican.
You go to Island Spice right there out in on University and College. That's right by my house. Yeah, that's an interesting little spot. You ever been over by that?
No.
It's right by one of the first Taco Bells in San Diego. It's right across the street. But Island Spice
comes with some attitude.
Island Spice.
They don't really have great parking there though.
Parking is terrible.
Where's
I always
that
get
at?
it
Like
to go.
Rolando or something?
Technically, that's Rolando, between Rolando Park and Village on University.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They used to be down. They were in a different location before, but they've been in the spot now for a while.
But it's good.
They used to have a place in there called Fake Burger before the vegetarian phenomenon was really blowing up. But it was FAQUE, Fake Burger. It did pretty well. But yeah, so the jerk chicken you recommend?
See, I go for like the other stuff, like curry goat, oxtails, that kind of stuff.
Wow.
I like Bob's. Have you been to Bob's? It's in the La Costa Resort. It's a steakhouse.
Okay.
So it's like Ruth Chris or Morton's, that kind of scale, but
it's
probably about 20%, 30% cheaper.
And where's Bob's? Did you say?
Inside the La Costa Resort.
Oh, right
okay.
Yeah,
that's a good note. I'm gonna have to head up there.
Yeah,
sounds like a field
Bob's
trip for
Steakhouse.
us. Field trip for us. Yeah, we're going to Bob's. You and I.
Hey, if you go, let
You're
me know.
buying.
I'll meet you over there.
Hell yeah.
Well, we go have steaks and then we go out shooting.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa, yeah.
Is there an order to it?
Yeah, I think we need to shoot
Yeah,
first.
you want to shoot
because
first.
Once we start
Oh,
eating
yeah,
and
true.
getting a little wine
Get a little
up in us.
squirt-
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, shoot could be bad.
Good point.
What's your go-to red wine, or are you a wine guy?
I like big, bold reds.
Like a
nice I
full
want
cab.
a cab or a Zen, with a big nose, fruity.
Yeah.
Makes you want to have a steak.
I hear you. Yeah.
But I'm a tequila snob.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. I wrote an
Tequila
article
snob,
in Recoil magazine about tequila.
So what's your go-to tequila? We should get a couple of little sippers right now.
I mean, there's so many good ones.
I like that.
Like right now, I'm really fond of Dos Armadillos. The Reposado sits just right for me right now. It's a good everyday sipper.
Well, I don't know if they have that, but I bet Lags could get us some Cazadores. Or some, they got Cutwater. I don't know.
Now, back in the old days, Cazadores was $12.
Yeah.
And somebody paid too much and the price stayed.
What's your go-to? Reposado, Blanco, or Neho?
It depends on the company.
Yeah?
Yeah, it depends on the company.
So which one of those do you want?
I would do the Reposado.
Yeah, let me do one of those as well. Which one, Cazadores? Yes, sir. I don't know what's your.
I would go with the
tequila snob. Which one should we get?
I would go with the Cazadores.
Okay. At least 3.
Yeah, at least 3. Why not?
And I'm not a shooter. I'm a sipper, man. I'm at that age where sometimes you fall down.
So
sometimes you do fall down.
So me and my neighbors get together at least 3 times a week, and we'll sit there and start drinking, and we devise this side pour, and literally people will come over, and it's literally most of the time it's in a shot glass.
Yeah.
But we'll pour it, and you're just sitting there, you're sipping it with your other drink. But we have people that never hung out with us before, and they'll show up and be like, you put a little whiskey, tequila, whatever, in a little glass, and the dude's like, that's never hung out with us before, literally grabbing it and just
shoots
boom,
it. Yeah.
And we're all like, okay, rookie,
right?
Like this is gonna be underneath this bar here in about 3 minutes,
right.
Pace yourself.
Yeah. Well, hey, did we all get ours? Cheers, guys.
Thanks
I guess
for having me on.
This is Bar Talk Live, so I
Bar
guess we
Talk
kind of
Live.
have to.
Ah, yes. Thank you, sir.
Kind of have to drink something.
Dirty Birds
Cheers, guys.
in the house.
Dirty Birds OB.
Just a little sip. Just a little something to,
it's
wet the whistle.
It's smooth. It has its own
Oh,
distinct flavor. It's not burning your chest
Yeah.
up. Your
It doesn't
esophagus
burn
is
as
still
bad
intact.
as when I butt chug it. But I didn't have a straw, so or a funnel.
I was gonna say, isn't it like like the beer bong right into your bung hole,
Your colon,
into your colon?
colon blow.
I mean, if that worked for colon cancer, if that was a cure, I'd probably be down to
Ugh.
try. No, I don't know.
Maybe not with
That's a little
tequila.
much.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
No,
But yeah, this is pretty decent.
pretty decent.
All I mean,
Yeah.
I'm no snob, but what are your thoughts?
Well, it's good. It has its own distinct flavor. I mean, it has,
It's just so smooth.
a hint of spice in it. But it's smooth. It's tasty.
Got a little sweetness to it,
Yeah.
too, almost.
A slight hint of stevia leaf or something.
Yeah,
How is it with a
really.
wing, though?
With a wang? A wang?
Mark, you eating anything? Did you try any of these wings?
I didn't. I hear they're good.
Best in San Diego, 12 years in a row.
Really? That's a tall order. That's something.
I don't really go out and eat wings myself that often. You
Yeah.
not a big wing guy, or?
Like when I'm on the road, sometimes I'll have wings just because that's probably the best thing
Sure.
in that town.
Can't go wrong with wings.
But I was in Buffalo one time at the place that started Buffalo Wings.
Right.
And it was booty, not the good kind.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, I'd make better wings than this.
So when you eat wings, do you go traditional or you go boneless?
I like bones, man.
Yeah.
I'm a grown man. I ain't
Drumstick or flats?
kid. Flats.
Flats. Yeah.
Just gotta have a lot of napkins.
Especially with this.
And when you're wearing makeup, I'm kind of concerned about, running my makeup off
Yeah.
my face.
You have
No,
a
you look
makeup?
From
great.
all the grease.
You have makeup on?
Yeah. I don't care. I'll admit it. Hey, got to keep the shine off my bald head. Man, that is tasty. That gets you a little looser, too. What should we talk about now?
So
It gets you a little loose.
you've been an actor for how many years? Like 30 plus, 40 plus years?
Probably
going
40.
back to the-
So 1986 was my first TV job.
Oh, right on. Okay.
But I did.
What was the first job?
Hill Street Blues.
Oh, that's right. Dude, my dad used to
But I was
love
doing
that.
theater before that.
And what was the sergeant was like, and hey, let's be careful out there.
Yeah.
That
Was
the
Caddyshack
that
too
was
the
the
It
first-
changed the way we watch TV.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All the cop shows
Did
now
we
are
see that
patterned
guy's
after
butt in that? Wasn't it? Which one did you say again? Which show we're talking about? Hill Street Blues, right? No.
Hey,
that
bring
was
us the
one.
water.
You're talking about butt chugging? Now you're talking
I know,
about
I know.
bare naked asses?
There was that episode. You did say Hill Street Blues, right?
Hill Street Blues.
Yeah, there's that episode, that dude with the mustache, and that was like a big deal in TV history because his butt was exposed for the first time on
Oh,
that
okay.
time.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild, pretty risque. I believe I remember correctly. I'm not sure.
So
Well, one thing about it was that it took primetime television to a different place, and especially cop shows. Like all the cop shows you watch now,
Yeah.
they're patterned after that.
Yeah,
show.
that's a reboot of Hill Street Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How many CSI shows do we need, though? I mean, isn't there like...
Well, see, that's the problem. It's like corporate America is running television now. Back in the old
Right.
days, it was all about the creatives, and now it's all about the bean counters.
Yeah.
This show made so much money. Let's go do another one of these.
Right.
Let's do
cutter.
NCIS Culver City. You're like,
They went
dude,
to
really?
Australia.
Yeah.
Was your first movie Caddyshack 2?
Yeah, that was my first movie.
Had you seen Caddyshack, the original? I'm assuming
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
seen that movie.
Yeah,
'cause
love the
Did that
original.
change your life as much as it changed mine? I mean,
What, Caddyshack?
yeah, the original movie. Come on. I mean,
No.
I constantly quote that film to this day.
No.
You
So
get
not
nothing
so
like
much?
it.
Oh, man. Well, you were in Caddyshack, too. We almost have, like, Kevin Bacon going on here.
Yeah.
With the
6
degrees
degrees
of
of
separation.
separation.
I mean, you've been on so many shows. I mean,
Yeah.
you hung out with James Rockford?
Yeah. Yeah,
The
and
Rockford
it's
Files.
funny. He had some good advice.
What was that?
He told me. He said, look. He says, you don't have to take every role that comes at you. He says, if you feel it's beneath you, don't take it. He says, I'm going to help you do that. He says, get a bank account way away from you. Don't get the card so you can pull the money out. Put 10% of your money in there. He says, and you'll be amazed how fast it accumulates. He says, and then when somebody offers you a role that you don't want to do, that you feel some kind of way about, you can just say no.
Yeah.
Because you
James
got some
Garner,
money in
nice.
the bank. And he called it FU money.
Yeah.
So cool.
So you got FU money?
No.
Not yet.
No.
Getting there.
Well, every year I end up with a strike. Made me spend most of it.
I'm the same way. My savings took a beating last year.
Oh.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me, That and COVID. COVID didn't do me any favors.
COVID didn't
either.
help.
Yeah.
COVID
Do
did
you
not
write
help.
any screenplays yourself?
I write with several different people, and I'm very good at coming up with concept, but I second guess my dialogue.
Right. Sure.
So I write with people that I know,
You can trust.
their strengths. And
Yeah. What's the best place you've been on any location? What's that you wouldn't hesitate to go back or even live?
See, here's the thing.
You already live in the best place
I
on
never
Earth.
get to go anywhere good. We could be shooting 52 weeks on the moon. They said, Mark, the film is going to shoot 52 weeks on the moon. You're working 48 weeks, but we're going to get you right here in the studio.
Of course. Yeah.
Green screen.
So I've never been in any place where it was just amazing. I had a lot of fun shooting in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Glamorous Pittsburgh?
It was just fun. It was like I was working on this thing with one of the creators of My Name Is Earl.
Okay.
It's a sitcom that was on Freevee called Sprung.
Sprung.
And
Okay.
it was just fun, shooting in that town. It was,
Yeah.
Even
Okay.
with like the COVID restraints and all that, it was
So then,
fun.
to piggyback on that, if money was no option, where's your ultimate destination for a vacation? Where would you pick up and roll to?
Probably Spain.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I always want to go there and they have that ham.
Yeah. The Parma ham.
And then I love Tahiti, so I would go back to Tahiti. Do Moorea.
Get the cool little cabanas over the water.
Over the water bungalow, yep.
Of course.
And Moorea, you can drive around the whole island in 45 minutes, and you go into your over the water bungalow and just step right out into the water and start swimming.
Yeah. When's the last big vacation you took?
Well, I when I'm working, I try to go somewhere, every other week, or if it's sitcom, you're 3 weeks on and a week off.
Okay.
And so that third week, I try to find somewhere to go, and so I like going to like Napa for a little getaway.
Cool.
Yeah.
To look for those tasty red wines.
Look for those tasty red wines, but like Yountville, for example, has like 4 5-star hotels.
Yeah.
And 3 or 4 5-star restaurants.
Yeah.
So
Michelin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michelin rated restaurants. Yeah. Napa's a pretty cool little area. Sonoma's cool.
I was in Sonoma the last time I went up.
What's the there's a like a Danish.
Use your words.
There's a
Solvang?
a Danish. Yeah, Solvang.
Solvang.
Dude, we went up there and did some wine tasting up there. That was the first time I'd been up there, and I was like, this place is awesome. Like
it's like it's step out of time. It's like
it is.
You go there, it's like, wow, these people are living it.
Yeah. So I was pretty stoked. I was like, dude, I was me with the wife, and we didn't have kids, with us, but it was one of the things I'm like, man, like bring my kids up here, like get them some culture, It's like it's like going to Montreal, like when you're like, well, it's still North America, but it's like going to Europe without going to Europe.
Right.
Fly to Montreal. You're like, oh, it's cool.
Exactly.
Cobblestones and whatnot.
But but even in and around America, I mean, there's all kinds of spots that I like. I mean, like I like Carson City, Nevada.
I love Sedona. I want to go back to Sedona.
Sedona's nice.
Or Williams is a great little town, but Jerome, the guy from Maynard from Tool, has a winery up there. It's like an old mining town, still up in the hills.
Dude, they're playing tonight at the Shell.
That's right. The Santa Festival.
Yeah,
I got invited.
and there's like in and around America, there's I always tell people when I'm on stage, get out and see this country. It's like it's beautiful. There's so many great places to go.
Yeah.
And as a comic, it's like you get brought into places, and it's like you get there and it's like at night, like I was in Brownswood, Texas.
Yeah.
And I came in at night, and so when I got up the next morning, I opened the curtains, and as far as the eye could see was cows. And I was like, wow, this is just a little cow town.
Yeah.
And then go out the front of the hotel, and there's cows over there. But then once I got out and in and around the town, it was like people are so nice, and it made me want to go back.
Sure. That small town vibe is pretty special, and they're all over. It's nice to meet welcoming people anywhere you go, right?
Absolutely.
We got that here in San Diego, of course. This is I would argue this is the best place
because all the people in the small towns come here to vacation.
Exactly,
and then they move here.
Yeah.
Now everybody from Vancouver.
And then we got traffic.
Yeah.
Listen, stay home.
It's getting worse.
Stay home, people.
You wouldn't like it here. You wouldn't like it here. This place
Not
is
at all.
dump.
Do you go out and support music at all, or are you a music aficionado?
I hire a singer-songwriter for all the shows that I do at North Coast Repertory Theater. We do 6
cool.
shows a season.
Who do you use? I may know them actually.
Josh D'Amigo, I used to use.
Oh, love Josh D'Amigo.
Ash Foster.
Yeah.
Haley Blaze.
Yep.
I had Robin, steel guitar playing Robin
Henkel.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Sean Rolfe.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Very
awesome.
good from the Buskers. That's really amazing. Well, you're very dialed into our local music community as well.
I love like comedy. San Diego is a burgeoning comedy scene, and the music scene here is equally great.
Yeah.
And now I do have a pet peeve.
What's that?
About comics and musicians. You ask them to send you some stuff. Send me a high resolution headshot, not off of Facebook or something because it shrinks.
Right.
And send me a bio in a Word document. It's like pulling teeth to get it in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
Duly noted. Okay.
But I so like bringing a singer-songwriter to start that show, and since we started doing it in 2008, people expect it. So like the one time I didn't do it, they were like, "Where's the musician?"
I'll help if you need one. I know some good ones, but you
We'll
got it locked
numbers.
down right there. I love Josh D'Amigo. I think he's
he
back
moved.
doing music again.
Yeah.
I thought he was coming back, but
He's
I'm not
up
sure.
in Ventura.
Have you ever been to the Casbah before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there to see what's her name, Veronica May and
cool.
Sean and what's the big dude that plays guitar? I want to say
Jeff Berkeley.
Jeff Berkeley.
Yeah. All right. See,
Nice.
You impressed me. I love it. You are a San Diegan. You're very involved in
man.
uplifting our community as well.
See?
With the art, music, culture, and everything. That's pretty amazing. I find out so much about you today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks for being a great San Diegan.
Hey, you know what? It's like if I'm gonna live here, I got to participate. You know what I mean? And like my shows that I produce around town, I bring comics in from all over the country, and some of the guys are they've never been on TV, and are funnier than probably everybody you see on TV.
Yeah.
There's a guy, Scott Wood. He's a set-up punch kind of guy, squeaky clean Rodney Dangerfield.
Okay.
And it's just amazing how you can get out and see a show and see a bunch of guys that you've never seen before and laugh harder than you've ever laughed.
Yeah.
There's definitely a comedy scene in San Diego. Like I feel like a young person, if they wanted to pursue that path, there's now a community. There wasn't maybe 25 years ago, but now with all of these spots, open mic opportunities,
lots of open mics, lots
and
of
a mentor
one-nighters.
like you. Do you mentor any young comics in San Diego?
I have a kid that I worked with from the time he was 13 until he became 17 and went to college, and now he's in the Navy. But he's still writing, and he actually lived up in Moore Park, but now I'm working with a kid from here. I guess he's 20, but that's still a kid to me.
Yeah. Gotta pass on the knowledge. Come on.
Exactly. When I was coming up, I'd go out on the road with these guys, and they gave information freely. And now the younger generation, they're very cutthroat. So I'm trying to instill in these people that I'm working with a way to work that and let them know that your fellow comedian is not your competition. He does a different thing than you do. So you make it your own, and you can help each other grow.
Yeah.
How much has your comedy changed, though, because it's changed so much in the last decade or whatever with just the wokeness? I mean, or comedians are afraid to go to colleges and perform because kids aren't.
I don't even think about woke. I write close to myself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most of the stories that I tell are based on something real that happened, and that's how the story evolved. As far as people, if somebody gets offended by something I say on stage, that's their problem, not mine, because I'm writing about me.
Yeah.
Have you had that happen, or do you allow people to record your shows?
I don't like people recording my stuff because they'll put it up, and I'd rather put up my own stuff.
Right.
I had one lady come up to me one time because I used to do a joke years ago about childbirth. And she said, "You don't know anything about a woman's body, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Ma'am, these are jokes."
Yeah.
These are jokes.
Stop being so damn sensitive. Yeah.
I didn't say I had a baby. I said I was a baby.
Like, if you don't know anything about a woman's body, you shouldn't be commenting on her. Like, calm down. It's just jokes.
These are jokes.
Just jokes.
These are jokes, folks.
These are the jokes, folks.
And if we can't laugh at ourselves, what can we laugh at, right?
Well, laugh at other people that are
there's
equally
that. There's
stupid.
that.
Yeah, but it's all, I appreciate the boundaries being pushed, and I feel like some comedians might be scared to push the boundaries now.
Yeah, it's
the
like
reaction.
I've always written clean, right? Pretty clean, because I started in 11th grade doing comedy.
Sure.
And I didn't want anybody calling my mother going, Sister Lee,
We was at the comedy store last night, and that boy was up there telling all kind of filthy jokes.
You're never going to believe what came out of this boy's mouth.
And somebody would call her.
Yeah,
of course.
And then the next time I'm on stage, she'd be sitting there with a belt.
And a bar of soap.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Man.
But,
of course.
So good.
But now, I can go hour and a half church clean.
It's good.
Yeah, you don't have to be dirty to be funny.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know? And that's impressive.
Exactly.
So we'll have you at the Casbah for the dirty show. Did you do a dirty show, or would you declare? I mean, is there a degree of the Mark Christopher Lawrence
I'd still
show?
be clean.
Okay.
By
Not church clean.
By today's standard, but not church clean. Like there's a couple of jokes in my act that I won't tell at a church, just because you're talking about relationships and stuff.
Yeah.
And not that it's necessarily a filthy joke. It's just inappropriate for a church.
Yeah. Know your audience.
Yeah. Know your audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is our audience?
I think that's still to be determined.
We haven't aired yet.
You about to find out.
Yeah.
This is our debut
Exactly.
show, sponsored by the lovely Bragabilia and Tiger's Blood. This is amazing.
And Bragabilia is a quiet flex in a can.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty
It's
impressive.
like-
Put on there. This is non-alcoholic, and you back it up with the alcoholic seltzer: black cherry, Hawaiian punch, tangerine, and kiwi. You like the Hawaiian punch, right? No, not your
Maybe.
thing? Not your flex. More fun, less hangover. When's the last time either of you had a hangover?
This morning.
This morning.
2003, I think.
2003.
Well, no, it wasn't even a hangover. It's just I was like, I woke up and I was still a little inebriated.
Yeah. Got to get some of that hair of the dog.
Yeah, I was like,
I thought all
probably sleep
comedians did
another
a
hour.
bunch of cocaine and got drunk and
I don't even drink before I go on stage.
no.
It's like when especially if I'm out of town. I don't drink at all if I'm out of town.
Yeah.
Because I need to have all my faculties about me.
Yeah.
If something happens, I don't want any mistakes. I want to be able to hooks and uppercuts and go to the car.
You survived Compton, man, growing up there, and look at you now. You came to
Yeah.
San Diego, elevating our community here. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anything you're excited coming up? Any trips? Any?
Oh,
Dinner dates,
I'm going to
concerts?
Chicago to host the 14th annual, I believe, Human Growth Foundation fundraising gala.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they support families with kids with growth disorders.
Okay.
So going to do that.
What disorders?
Growth.
Growth disorders.
Yeah, the Human Growth
Interesting.
Foundation.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been working with them for the past 13, 14 years, and
Awesome.
we do that event. We do East Coast Walk for Kids Growth. That's in Miami now. We started in Queens.
Yeah.
We do a Say No Bullying campaign. We do an event in Griffith Park in Los Angeles, and also in Griffith Park, we also do a Walk for Kids Growth there.
Oh, right on.
Yes, I do four events a year for them.
That's cool. Awesome.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, man. This has been amazing.
Yeah.
Just to meet you and learn more about your career and find out some of your favorite things and talk about shooting and do tequila shots. We didn't do a drinking
It's not
game,
a shot. It's not a
it's a
shot.
sip.
It's a side
Excuse
pour.
me, I'm so
Side
sorry.
pour.
We're
Mark
sipping.
Christopher Lawrence.
Yeah.
This is amazing,
Huge,
dude.
huge thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
man.
Thanks for having me.
Huge thank you.
And I wish you guys success. And when I have something to promote, I'll come back on.
You're
Yeah,
invited
man.
anytime. We're going out shooting, by the way.
We didn't even get to the gun stuff really with you, man.
Right.
You said you had to buy a gun safe, but yeah. But hey, welcome to Bar Talk. This has been awesome. We would definitely have to have you on.
Yeah.
It is the gun show, right? I'm holding my arms here. Anyway, this has been amazing. Kevin, thank you so much. I can't believe it. We're a team now. This is our first one. Thank you to Dirty Birds. The wings are awesome. Thank you, Tiger's Blood. Of course, these friends here, Bragabilia. What's the tagline again?
It's a quiet flex.
Quiet
in a can.
flex in a can.
That's Mark Christopher Lawrence. This has been Bar Talk Live. Cheers to you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Woo!
Well, I forgot to notice her. Hit the phone, and I say, hey, cry, she remember me. So maybe she's just coming home.